Hey, how's it going? My name is Miguel Sanchez, and I will be discussing the effects of grade retention on student learning. Um, so, grade retention is a practice of requiring a student who has underperformed academically to remain at the same grade level the following year. Um, so, it has been known as a controversial and common educational practice over the past 25 years. Um, According to Eid and Goldhaber, 2 million children are retained annually in the United States. Um, and looking at that a little bit more deeper, socio-demographical at-risk students facing academic challenges are disproportionately affected. In particular, males, non-Hispanic blacks, and students from lower income families are more likely to be retained. And so some of the contributions that have affected this number, for example, has been the No Child Left Behind Act of 2002. So administrators may have been encouraged to retain low performing students, um, so that they could meet adequate yearly progress as measured by high stakes tests. From a pedagogical standpoint, retention increases heterogeneity in age and decreases heterogeneity in achievements. So, with limited access to remediation strategies, policymakers may have relied on retention to meet the standards. So the short-term effects have been well documented. However, there has been a limited attention paid to long-term effects that go beyond childhood and into early adolescence. So retained students tend to struggle after they leave elementary school. So some of these studies were conducted over the past 25 years, and so they all showed, and they're all consistent that grade retention actually it increased the chances of high school dropout. So some of them were up to 50%. Um, and so, for example, in this one, Tuck, so they found that 78% of the dropouts had been retained in that had been retained in elementary school, and reported feelings of alienation within the school environment. So that's a pretty significant uh, statistic. And so in regards to grade retention, so going based off that stat, or that study, the act of being retained at grade level may create experiences that negatively impact the students, as well as higher chances of dropping out of high school. So some of these factors can include a student's self-esteem, socio-emotional adjustment, peer relations, and school engagement. Research has shown that grade retention is not a very successful academic intervention for students that are struggling academically. Furthermore, our research has also found that the general public, including educators, are not aware of the potential long-term consequences of grade retention. It may temporarily benefit the students, however, it may harm students long-term. In the long term, teachers are often unaware of this. When a student is retained in elementary school, a teacher does not see what the repercussions are later on in that student's life. Studies have shown that most teachers feel that a quote unquote extra year for growth and maturity is justified. So Tanner and Combs emphasize and recommend um, that um, that teachers should be educated on this, so that they should examine their own beliefs about retention, be presented with the research evidence about the short-term and the long-term effects of retention, and school-wide classroom intervention. Classroom intervention strategies. So there have been social, emotional, and behavioral difficulties have been associated with grade retention. Um, so these difficulties start early before they start school, and can have lasting effects on children's academic success, quality of life, and economic self sufficiency in adulthood. So social information. So some of the skills that affects the students is uh, um, social information processing skills, attending to tasks, shift attention response to expectations, executive functioning skills, and managing emotions that are all important to be able to function in the school setting. And so when students don't meet these requirements, they often suffer the consequences of expulsion and suspension. And children who have um, and children who do not meet the who who do not meet the requirements of being socially, emotionally, and behaviorally ready by kindergarten. um, they are at risk of being retained a grade level. And so research has shown the importance of parents. So growing evidence that parenting behavior plays a key role in children's development of social behavioral skills, and then as well as the importance of teachers. So if teachers are not able to manage their students' behavior, children are more likely to be suspended or expelled. And so then less time is provided for learning, and more is spent on behavior management. So evidence shows that when teachers are provided with positive training on positive classroom and environments, social skills training, and mental health consultation, so it can reduce disruptive behaviors in the classroom. And, and so um, so some alternative ways that you can go without grade retention is that so there are preventative factors. Many researchers agree that the best solution to the retention versus social promotion debate is to prevent academic failure before it occurs. And so Dent in 2001 suggested that students with learning problems should be identified as early as possible in the school year, and that intervention efforts should begin as soon as learning problems are identified. And so here are the steps that you can suggest. So improve teacher professional development, to make organizational changes within the schools, ensure that target supports and services are available for struggling students, and conduct classroom assessments that better inform teaching. So there's another research conducted, and it showed that universal preschool kindergarten can help in many ways, because it can prevent early detection, and as well as early screening. And so these are some of the resources. So National Association of School Psychologists has wonderful resources for parents of what they can do, of who they can consult with at school. And so PBIS World, they have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 for a behavior. And again, you can go to your local family resource centers. Here's one for my school district, where it empowers parents with education. And here are my references. Thank you very much. That should be it.